no matter the weather.
Now at 10, a federal judge rules on the constitutionality of a controversial traffic stop tactic known as the Kansas two-step. Plus, Fort Scott City Commission tonight decides on a resignation request from the city manager. And a priest in Carthage doesn't let his health slow him down when it comes to setting up the city's iconic Christmas lights display.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A federal judge says the Kansas Highway Patrol must stop using the tactic known as the Kansas two-step. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The judge today granted a permanent injunction banning the use of the tactic, which involves troopers buying time during traffic stops to get a drug-sniffing dog to a location. In July, the judge ruled the tactic violated the constitutional rights of drivers and targeted out-of-state residents. The Missouri Supreme Court has turned away an appeal by Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft on how to word a ballot question on access to abortion in the state. Proponents of broader access to the procedure are seeking to put the question directly before voters next year. State Appeals Court in October said the wording presented by Ashcroft was politically partisan. Ashcroft appealed the decision, but the Missouri Supreme Court declined to hear his argument. The minimum wage in Missouri is going up in the new year. The State Department of Labor and Industrial Relations announced today it will increase by 30 cents to $12.30 per hour. Voters in 2018 approved incremental yearly wages to the minimum wage through 2023. Now it could go up or down depending on cost of living changes. The new increase will take effect on January 1st. It does not apply to public employees. Fort Scott City Commission this evening rejected a resignation request from the city manager. They voted that Brad Mantkin must stay on in the position. However, they also approved a pay increase for the city manager. Authorities charge a Newton County jailer with passing drugs to an inmate in exchange for money. Investigators allege on at least 6 occasions, Corey Schrum, a corrections officer at the Newton County Jail, passed drugs to an inmate. They say video evidence shows the most recent instance was Friday morning, the day of Schrum's arrest, when investigators say he can be seen passing a plastic bag with a white substance to the inmate. Test of that substance indicates it was methamphetamine. Schrum was transferred to the Jasper County Jail, where he remains on a no bond hold. Getting kind of chilly out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
It is. It's a cold night after a cold day. High temps only into the upper 40s. We had the clouds and drizzle most of the day. We started at 34 degrees. 56 is the average high, so below normal for this time of the year. But now that the clouds have cleared out, our temperatures are bottoming out. Look at this, 34 in Joplin, 33 in Pittsburgh. Here's the good news. Roads are dry. Of course, a lot of people traveling now, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We may have to watch that as we get into the weekend. All right, 36 in Stockton, Neosho 35, Carthage 34, Pittsburgh 33. We have Oswego at 35. Chanute is sitting at 35. All the clouds we had earlier rotating out of here. And as we go through the night, it's a cold night, down to 27 degrees. But what about the holiday week? Chances for rain, maybe some snow. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. Now, as the temperatures begin to drop in a lot of places around the 4 states, they're opening their doors as warming centers. KOAM's newsnow.com has a list of warming centers in and around the area. Many of these locations can also use donations or volunteers. Go to our website to see what's available in your community. And if your organization has a warming center you'd like to add to our list, well, you can see how to do that on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/weather. The Neosho Farmers Market today baked up its first ever Thanksgiving market. The event took place in the Farmers Market lot in the historic downtown Neosho. Bakers took center stage with a wide variety of pies, assorted homemade breads and hot rolls, lemon curd cookies, and local honey.
There's another option. I mean, if you don't have time to bake it yourself, there are people in our community that are phenomenal bakers and makers, and that's the heart and soul of our farmers market, is our farmers and our makers and our bakers.
This was the final farmers market of the season. Fort Scott, Kansas family has been providing free Thanksgiving dinners to the community for 24 years, but this year might be the last. Marjorie Swalm is the driving force behind the dinner. After more than 2 decades of spending a week to cook and organize everything, she says she's tired and would like to focus on her family next year.
I've been doing this for 24 years now, and it's grown each year. It went from the first year was probably 100 to 200, and now it's 600 to 800 meals that that people can come out and pick up their meals, or we deliver them.
Now, this year's dinner is still happening. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday. Folks can pick up their food from a drive-thru at the Elks Lodge or put in a delivery order. On Thanksgiving Day, the Way of Salvation Christmas light display is going to open in Carthage. Father Dominic Gwynn, the priest in charge of the light display this year, is not letting a health condition he deals with stop him. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has that story.
We put it on the slides on the kind of a projector. We draw it out, and then from there we do our picture. This is small. There's some like 15 feet long, 12 feet high. This is the angel with Abraham and Isaac.
In charge of the Way of Salvation Christmas light display this year, Father Dominic has been spending his days in the storage area where the Christmas lights are kept all year long. He's working on new frames for the traditional display. This year, besides telling stories that were previously told in the Christmas lights display, the organizers also want to tell new stories that come from the Bible.
From Queen Esther to Samson and Delilah, because a lot of people are not familiar with the story, so he wants to bring it out into the light, and hopefully people see it.
Father Dominic has been putting thought and work on the display since the beginning of the year, without letting the health condition he deals with get in his way. In the last 5 years, he has been dealing with Parkinson's disease. He says the medicines help him do his work, but some days are better than others.
When the medicine doesn't work, then I'm pretty much kind of stiff, can't do much. I'm not, kind of upset about it or anything, but it's what God gives me. Then I do the best what He has given me.
For Father Benedict, a source of inspiration.
To see him put the effort in just to do whatever he can, and to make this Way of Salvation possible, having that strength and that hope to that saying a lot. And that says, even though I carry this cross, I continue to push.
Continue to push for both of them, God's will for everyone in this season. In Carthage, Fernandez Silva, KOAM News.
And the result is magnificent. The Way of Salvation Christmas light display opens Thanksgiving Day. It's going to be open until New Year's Day from 6 p.m. to 11. Check it out. Later, Coffeyville Community College kicks off a new era for their football program by signing a new coach. John's going to have that story later in sports, but first.
I'm Natalie Brand at the White House with details of the deal to free hostages held by Hamas.
Casey's has thin crust.
Pizza? Get the second 50% off. Only at Casey's.
Israel has approved a proposed deal for a temporary ceasefire in the war with Hamas in exchange for the release of hostages that were captured in Israel on October 7th. Natalie Brand has the latest.
With a deal emerging to free some of the hostages held in Gaza, Israeli families are praying their loved ones will soon see the light of day once again. Israel says the government approved the outline of a plan that would initially free at least 50 hostages, women and children, over 4 days. During that time, Israel says a pause in the fighting will be held. It said the release of every additional 10 hostages will result in 1 additional day in the pause. The Biden administration says it's been working hour by hour. 10 Americans, including a 3-year-old, are among the more than 200 hostages taken during the October 7th terror attacks.
We've been working on this intensively for weeks, as you all know. I've spoken recently about it with both the Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Amir Qatar. My team has been in the region shuttling between capitals.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows Israel would press ahead with the war until it destroys Hamas's military capabilities and returns all the hostages. Israel says it wants to ensure there will be no new threat from Gaza after the October 7th terror attacks. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Now, if the hostages are released, the relief group Red Crescent would take them from Hamas and hand them over to Israel's military. The U.S. officials said they will need immediate medical attention because they've been held in, quote, abhorrent conditions. A little bit later, a whole lot of drivers hit the holiday road, fueled by lower gas prices across the 4 states.
Plus, what are conditions going to be like on those roadways when you hit the road? We're going to look at that coming up.
Yoda, let's go places.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a cold one for us today. Temperatures upper 40s for highs, and we had the clouds, drizzle, mist most of the day. We did get a little bit of sunshine late. It didn't help us warm up very much as it was a cold one. Nice shot. Here's Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo's just outside of Seneca, Missouri. You can see those roads have dried up after about 2.5 days of light rain across the region. But our temperatures, we haven't gone anywhere. Look at this. So we're going all the way back to yesterday, upper 40s, 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 40s. Now we're dropping now that the clouds have broken up. So temperatures going down: 32 Iola, Chanute 35, 38, Veneta, Anderson 39, Carthage is sitting at 34. Most of us will bottom out into the mid-20s later on tonight. 7th and range line, 34. Northerly winds, about 5. But it feels like 29 with those light winds. Now these are going to continue to lighten up as we go through the overnight hours, which is good because obviously the wind makes it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is. Back edge of the clouds eroding near Springfield, Branson, heading off toward the east. If we go back toward the east, the storm system that gave us all the rain over the past couple days moving up the eastern seaboard. So if you're flying or traveling to the New England states, could be some delays over the next 24 hours. Let's go back west. Here's our weather as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Really Friday too. Then we have to watch this system as we go into the weekend. That will change our weather up just a little bit. Until then, overall, it's fine. Let me walk you through time. We're going to stop tomorrow morning. 26 in Nevada, 27 in Monette, Grand Lake 28, Iola 26. So it's a cold one. Sunny skies all day long by noon, mid-40s as we get into the afternoon. Most of us 48 to 50. Case in point, 48 in Stockton, Miami 48, Chanute up to about 50 during the afternoon. Bella Vista of 48 degrees. Tomorrow night, cold, not as cold, still clear skies. We drop back near freezing. As we go into Thursday afternoon, of course, Thanksgiving, really nice actually, upper 50s, right about where we should be for this time of the year. We are going to have the clouds, but we should be dry, which is good. All right, day planner for you Wednesday, 28 in the morning, 45 by noon, high temp 48. Plenty of sunshine. Now, if you're traveling Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, the entire state looks fine, or the entire 4 states look fine for us tomorrow. As we go into Thanksgiving, we do get more clouds, but you can see everybody is dry. Friday, a lot of clouds, but everybody is dry. Now, we get some changes as we head into the weekend. We're going to have to watch this. Our region, rain works in late, but a swath of snow, central Kansas, Wichita up toward Kansas City. Saturday night, snow to our north may get into our area. We have to watch where that freezing line is, but rain and snow lasting into Sunday morning. So this will cause some havoc for travelers, of course, as we head into the weekend. 48 tomorrow, 58 on Thursday, 50 on Black Friday. 52 Saturday, rain pushing in, 46, chilly on Sunday.
Well, chilly is something we should expect this time of year, I suppose.
It's late November.
You bet. Thanks, Doug. Thanksgiving is just a couple of days away now, and Americans are already hitting the roads for holiday travel. 49 million Americans are driving more than 50 miles, according to AAA. Travelers at the Welcome Center on I-44 say their journey's been smooth so far.
Compared to what they were a year ago, and the fact there's a war in the Middle East, that surprises me that gas is low.
Gas has come down a little bit. Travel's been pretty nice so far.
Yeah, those gas prices in Oklahoma, they now sit at $2.85, while in Arkansas it sits slightly higher, $2.88 on average. The average price for a gallon of gas in Missouri is $2.90, while Kansas has the highest average in the 4 states, $2.99. Before you hit the road, you're going to want to make sure your car is in good working order. Neptune Auto is one of many auto shops in the area helping people prepare their cars for the season, but there are some things you can do on your own.
So keep a good set of tires on there, keep them rotated. When you take it to the shop, have them observe them, because just because they look good on the outside does not mean the inside tread's good. And have them check your brakes. Brakes and tires is 2 of the most important things there is.
Lovell also says it's important to check your tire pressure and tread as the weather gets colder. Still ahead, Sarcoxie High School senior Peyton Ogle commits to playing college volleyball. And Pitt State men's basketball plays its home opener. John Dale is going to have highlights from that game and a lot more up next.
We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
Pittsburgh State men's basketball began the 2023 season going 1-1 in the Central Region tip-off in Kansas City a week and a half ago. Tonight, the Gorillas take the floor at home for the first time. Pitt State playing at John Lance Arena for the first time this season. First possession of the game against McPherson, the Gorillas have it. Jordan Freisen finds Tane Prichter down low for the two-handed jam. PSU takes the early lead. A few minutes later in the first half, Max Alexander takes the ball strong to the rim, gets fouled, and he scores. Gorillas lead 14-6 after he makes the and one free throw. Then Jordan Freisen back at it. 2 of his 15 points on the night, and we'd hear more from him later. Alexander again goes to the bucket strong. He makes it a 12-point lead for PSU at halftime. McPherson just couldn't hang around. Freisen adds 2 more in with the nice nifty layup going backdoor. PSU goes on to win 75-54. Gorillas are led in points by Max Alexander, who missed all but 2 games with an injury last year and is happy to be back out on the floor.
Blessed. I'm very, very blessed. There's a lot of dark times going through that. I'm really happy and thankful to be out here with all my guys, and this is where I belong, and just thankful, very thankful.
Over to women's college hoops. Gorillas win there as well. Amanda David's squad goes on the road and easily handles Ouachita Baptist. Final score 86-60. The Gorillas are 4-0. Karina Gerber and Grace Pyle lead the way for Pitt State, each scoring 15 points. PSU will play Henderson State tomorrow at 2. Over to Missouri Southern men's basketball. The Lions playing in the Doubletree Thanksgiving Classic in Springfield, Missouri. They dropped their first game to Illinois Springfield, 96-77, the final there. Prairie Stars shoot 38% from beyond the arc. Southern will play again tomorrow. That one is against Drury. And the early signing period continuing along for high school senior athletes committing to play at the next level. And this afternoon, Peyton Ogle, a senior at Sarcoxie, signs her letter of intent to continue her academic and athletic careers at Neosho County Community College. She says the relationship with the coaching staff and players there were big factors in the decision to join the Panthers.
The coaches were nice. It was probably one of the best schools I'd visited, probably one of my best offers too. So I went with them, and I wanted to play for 2 years instead of 4. So I went on a visit after we talked for a little bit, and then they gave me an offer. And at first I actually declined the offer, and then I decided I wanted to go. So I went back and they gave me my offer back. The coach was really nice, and I liked all the players too whenever I went on my visit.
Over to college football. Last week, Jeff Leiker stepped down as head coach of Coffeyville Community College after a 22-year career with the Red Ravens. And Coffeyville Community College announces now it has found its new head coach. That's Nick Dobler. who was the Red Ravens defensive coordinator the past 4 years. They're coming off a disappointing 3-7 campaign in 2023. 2 years ago, though, the Red Ravens, while going 8-3, Dobler's defense 4th in the country, allowing only 14.5 points per game. He's going to have a little bit of a turnaround project there, coming off a 3-win season, but with junior college football, you can turn it around in a snap, definitely.
That's true. Those athletes did for 2 years, and they're gone and reload pretty quickly. We'll be right back.
For fun, winning excitement, then it's time to go to Indigo Sky Casino. Fridays in November, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Play for your...
To salute Michael Melvin, a four-state hero.
Hey, to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's absolutely free. It's in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for KOAM News app. You can also find it there on that QR code. Hey, looks like kids in Carthage have a new place to play. The Carthage Chamber of Commerce came out to Kellogg Lake for the grand opening of a new playground. It's the newest addition to Kellogg Lake Park, which also features fishing, an outdoor classroom, and a disc golf course.
For accessibility for all of our kids, so that anybody with any sort of mobility issues can play and go and access and just be able to interact with kids of all mobility types.
That park is located along Route 66 on the northeast corner of Carthage. If you're going to be heading out to the park anytime in the next couple of days, you're going to want to make sure you're bundled up. It's going to be chilly.
Yeah, we're going to have sunshine tomorrow, but a high temp of only 48 degrees. We do bounce to 58 on Thanksgiving, which is nice. Back down to 50 on Black Friday. Watching a storm system for the weekend, but overall stays kind of chilly over the next, 7-10 days.
I guess so. Final sports notes.
A lot more basketball tomorrow. Missouri Southern men's and women's playing. Pitt State women's basketball playing as well. And then we also hear from the Gorilla football team ahead of their second-round playoff game.
Wow, a lot to look forward to in that playoff game on Saturday. It's going to be a big one.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.